All right, welcome back and welcome to another audio slash video adventure of those Millennials podcast. Today I'm your humble, grateful, extremely thankful host, K the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. Jesse's here. Jesse, how's your pockets? How's your mental health?
The pockets, at the holidays, you gotta just January a re-up, January a re-up. So we
Oh,
on the
January
re-up,
up?
January
Yeah.
a re-up. We on the re-up. You get that holiday pay,
Yeah.
you get that holiday pay. So you think you good, but then you realize you gotta pay a lot of shit off. So
Oh,
January to re-up. We good, man. The work bullshit is still going on, but it's work. It's more important. What's more important is the industry is opened back up, and that means your boy that much closer to getting back to what he loved to do.
absolutely. Rell has no camera for the YouTube audience, but Rell's here. Rell, how's your pockets? How's your mental health?
Was Gucci? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and
Yes,
loud and
sir.
clear. That was actually
Yes, sir.
very
I
deep.
was like, that's more energy than
My
when
man,
he
what?
with the
That was more.
camera off.
Look, see, I don't want to be shoot at him like that because, but I was thinking
Nah,
the same
cause yeah,
thing.
you played him last time. You played him last
I
time.
played him
Yeah, you was
because
talking
he
shit
said the
last
lowest.
time.
He said the lowest. What's Gucci ever in the intro podcast in history? Man. Anyway, um, first and foremost, thank you
See, now
guys.
you being disrespectful. You know what's about to happen.
Oh, my bad, man.
And how's your pockets? How's your
Yeah,
mentals, Kev?
mental is a whole lot better. I've been battling this. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. Actually, today is the second day where I actually felt like me, and actually got to work out again today for the first time in like a week and a half. But my little one was sick, so she was stuck home with me today, and we just did a whole lot of next to nothing. So she had a fever. So pockets. Pockets on chalupa right now, but that's for a whole nother reason. But everything good. Everything good, man. We all right. All right. So first and foremost, thank you. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that checked out our last YouTube video. It did particularly well. I saw we had a lot of uh new watchers, especially of the female audience, which is very strange. They out here checking out you, Jesse, or Clips, or Rell, one of y'all. They out
I
here
was like,
checking
it
y'all
ain't
out.
me. I'm looking at busted.
They out here checking out y'all.
I'm
Um,
just worried about this cash.
it was a spike in female listeners, so we appreciate you
How
guys.
you
Thank you.
know? Why you gotta say that?
What? What do you
You
mean? Why I
know
gotta say that?
why you gotta cut off so many demographics of people? How you know it's women listening? It don't say it's a woman Spotify. It don't say it's a nigga Spotify. It just say
Hey, Rell,
Spotify listening.
No, 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 no.
Rell,
You're right. You're
Rell,
right. I'm talking
Rell,
about
Rell.
the watchers on YouTube. It tells you if
No,
they're
oh,
male or
okay,
female.
okay. Hey, Rell, more women watching ain't a bad thing, bro.
I
Don't
just
take
want to
that.
tell. I just want to see. It's crazy though. So they watched our episode of checked out our Cat Williams episode. Obviously, that episode was pretty dope. Now they're gonna come check out an episode where we're gonna talk about NFL coaches
Yeah, I was about to
and.
say, we about to lose
And
them on this
I was like, this is not gonna be a
episode.
good back to back for them.
I mean, but we
We
can
can talk
work, bro.
about
I hope
NFL
you
coaches
sprinkle it.
and
There's
a
a lot of
college
music
coach.
going on. It's a
This
lot
is
of
not
music
really
going on.
this is not really gonna
The
be a
music,
juicy
yeah.
episode. So if you hang with
That
us, you
little,
really
that
fuck
new
with us. We
Smokey
appreciate you.
Robinson drop, gasms.
But I do have something I do want to talk to you guys about how y'all should, how a wife should act when they're with a
What?
celebrity husband. We'll get to that when we get
I
there.
was gonna say, however they want.
yeah,
They know
yeah,
all
yeah,
No, no, no.
yeah.
I
You,
believe me, I know how to stick the. Well, I know how
you
to
want to
stick the
take this out,
landing.
Kevin?
I know how to stick the
You want
landing on
to
that kind of stuff.
you
Believe me.
want to take this out?
Yeah, I was
Um,
like, we just got some new women viewers, and now you trying to
nah,
not have any more?
hey man, I'm just saying. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. It helps the pod grow. Sub up if you're new around here. It also helps the pod grow if you're listening on any of the audio adventures, Spotify, Apple. Please leave a 5-star review. And all that great stuff. So first and foremost, we normally start our episodes with Jarrell giving picks. Last week we did not do picks, but this week, Jarrell with no camera has picks this week. So this week, Darrell's picks is sponsored by Circuit City. Rell, give your picks of the week.
Yeah, sorry for the no camera. I'm in transition. This week is what super wild card weekend. But that's that. First, I'd be remiss if I didn't pay homage to the anniversary, which I call the Latanza heist.
Here we go.
I would like to this today is the
What
anniversary.
episode for clips not to be on? Keep going. I'm sorry.
Today's the anniversary where I found out that football games weren't won on the football field, but in the desert. No, they won. No, because I see now that I live out here, I get it. I know what happened when Dez caught it 9 years ago and Goodell made the call and changed the call.
Damn, was that 9 years?
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it's 9 years. Yeah. We remember.
Crazy.
Yeah, Cowboy Nation. It's the one for us because
let it go. So
because Romo should have had a bowl. Romo should have had a bowl, and that's
or at least went to one.
No, he should have had a bowl. Romo was one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, and today we just remember his career. We remember Dez Bryant's career, and
one of the better quarterbacks to ever play the game.
And as I segue into my picks, it's fitting that I'm starting off with the Cowboys and the Packers because now this our get back.
9 years later,
I don't care when it is or when it happened. Or who playing quarterback? This our get back. This the get back. I want cheap shots after the whistle. I want
they ain't
dirty
got that
hits.
Kind of heart, bro. They ain't got that kind of heart. No.
Everybody, honestly, and everybody talking about the Detroit, flag pickup, who reported. Like right now, I'm in my Eddie Guerrero shit. Lie, cheat, and steal. Because I don't give a fuck how I get there, whether it's by hook or crook. So as I start with my picks, I'm laying big number. Everybody's scared of it. Everybody's banging the fuck out of the Packers. Give me Cowboys -7.5. We whipping that ass this weekend.
Wow.
This to get back.
Wow.
The whole thing is the Packers don't know, is this a setup? This is the real get back. This is for all the years of Cowboy Packer pain that we've been through for years. We've had to go through Packer pain. And now we're going to get through Cowboys -7.5. CeeDee Lamb is the best receiver in football. Had the 7th best season in NFL history for wide receivers in NFL. So if you go look at it, the 7th best wide receiver ever played the game. You're going to look at the CeeDee Lamb numbers this year. He caught damn near 122 balls, I think, and 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns. Insane. CeeDee going to go off. Jair's trash. Cowboys -7.5. Second play, we're going Rams. Money line. And they the dog in this. So I'm sprinkling the dog. So our Cowboys 7.5. Rams money line for the win.
Who they playing? Rams
are playing the Lions. Matt Stafford has returned to Detroit for the first time in the playoff game. He actually played the months before.
Is that the Peacock game that everybody's mad about?
No, the Peacock game is the Chiefs Dolphins, and that's bullshit. NFL, you fucked up for that.
Do you want to watch that one? Do you want to watch?
I mean, it's playoff football, bro. I don't miss a game.
But it's gonna be a snowed out game. I think that's actually a perfect pick.
But I'm standing away from that one. Don't they get
another game too next week?
No, it's just one. It's just one.
Okay. Keep going.
So Rams money line, Cowboys -7.5. And for my last pick, I'm going double dog this week. Bucks money line. First, they're in Tampa playing the Beagles. The Beagles are walking in backwards to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The two things you don't do in the NFL, you don't walk in backwards to the playoffs. And that's exactly what the Eagles are doing. You fade what you believe right now. Right now,
also, let me interject real quick. The Bucks got the two things that breaks the Eagles defense. Wide receiver, throw that shit up. Evans, that's all. If Baker plays smart, just throw that
Baker's
shit up.
really had an awesome year, to be honest, too.
My only concern is that he's been injured as of late.
He's banged up.
So he hasn't played as well, but I'm going to ride with the Bucks. So that's a 3-team parlay for you. I'm going Cowboys 7.5. Rams money line, Bucks money line, and that's the three banger. I'm banging. I'm putting it in right now as we speak, and it's in. Okay, so that's the play. That's my play. So double dog, and then Cowboys 7.5. Everybody's bringing the Packers. Like I said, CD about to go crazy. He about to go crazy. I'm telling you. CD's about to go crazy. I'm just gonna say CD crazy. It's about to be nuts.
Let me
I like it.
hey Kev, when we get sponsored by Prize Pick, let me know. I'll get some Prize Picks in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because your boy play a little bit.
That nigga Sean sucks on Prize Picks.
Yes.
Damn. My man nigga
This is
Sean
how I know if a nigga could produce and I could drop some prize. I'll give you some fucking winners if you tell me.
Jesse, you said you had an apology to hand out to somebody?
Yes, I definitely do. And it's to this person and this person only. Not the whole organization, because I still think
Yeah, y'all fuck two black coaches.
exactly. I still think that the organization is trash. They lucked up. D'Amico Ryans, if you can walk up to the altar and meet your boy, and we can be in front of the pastor as I apologize to everybody and
Did you call
God.
the pastor before you decided to say some shit on the internet?
I know.
Like
It's a
somebody else did?
testimonial.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
new year. We got to do some testimonials. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't get a chance because Cat did all his testimonials
Yeah.
last week. So we didn't get a chance. D'Amico Ryan's amazing job. I don't know if I said it on the pod. I think I did. Me and Rell agreed that you shouldn't take this job because it was a mess. But you turn that shit around. You got a great quarterback because the Panthers are stupid, but that's no fault of yours. You took that quarterback and you let him play to his full potential, and your defense. You drafted Will Anderson. You could say Lovie Smith always did do a good job with the defense last year, but that's just taken away from the amazing work you did. And the funny part is, y'all not known for your defense right now, so that's scary. That's the scary part because you came from that vaunted 49ers defense and they drafted the right players or whatever. But now you still on a clean slate. So much respect to you. You knew more than I did, and you had way more belief than I did. I don't believe in the let me go play for my old organization bullshit. Unless they do it right by you, and you did your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the crazy part about it, like Rell, correct me if I'm wrong. Take Dell undrafted, Nico Collins, what later round pick? They number two pick. He still hasn't even got off yet. Michi third. This may be the one that he go off on. And he came back from the King.
No. Well, no, they invested. Tank that was a high pick. He was third round.
Third round, okay. And
But
it's
I
like
mean, but they got a bunch of. I mean, Noah Brown couldn't catch a cold with the Cowboys.
bro, yeah.
Nico Collins now is a number one all of a sudden and gonna get paid a lot of money
Right.
this offseason because of CJ, the boy from Rancho Cucamonga, CJ
Yes,
Stroud.
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, so just much respect. I had to come on here, and I ain't gonna eat shit literally. But he did it. That whole team, like they was legitimately scary. Like CJ Stroud was in the running for MVP. Like we was doing MVP talks with CJ Stroud. That's wild. So hopefully they can continue to build on that and not before my Bills win a Super Bowl. So and then I can root for y'all all you want, and I'll take that all day. But much respect to him. You turned an organization around that a year ago was not looking like this. All those reports that came out, how messy it was, and they clean slate, and how they did Lovey Smith, who seemed like he was doing it, even though the wins didn't look that way. Um, the team was playing hard for him, and you came in and you took that and you took them to the next level. So much respect to you, and good luck to y'all in the playoffs. Hope if y'all get a win, awesome. But unfortunately, you're gonna have to run into Ja. And when I say Josh Allen, what does Josh think? And we're gonna have to take y'all out. But uh, I'm glad that y'all are succeeding. You don't see that a lot, and I think he's the first rookie coach, rookie quarterback tandem to make the playoffs since was that Andrew Luck and Pagano?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much respect, and y'all, black. I respect black excellence, and y'all did that, man. Y'all did that.
Fire. um, before we get to not list, let me just say, in any other those Millennials episode, the topics that we have today would lead our show. We
Mhm.
have literally 5 contenders for possibly topic of the said episode. So we're gonna try our best to get to each of said topics, and we'll get to that after I hit on this not list real quick. All right, so not list number one on the not list. This one's easy. I just wanted to talk about this one real quick. So obviously this week, Shams, it was reported by Shams that Netflix is creating a new NBA documentary series modeled after the NFL's quarterback show. And it'll be starring 5 NBA players, chosen NBA players for the first season of the project. It'll be LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, and Domantas Sabonis. I think they got a really deep selection of players that we would care about. Obviously, LeBron James is LeBron James, but seeing Anthony Edwards in his journey in Minnesota with the team that he has will be interesting. Especially Jimmy Butler,
Uh,
I believe in him,
yeah,
coach.
it's gonna
Rell
be
does.
great watching him prep to become a Laker.
But the quarterback series, the Netflix series was so successful. I think this is really dope, and maybe just maybe this is Netflix's way of dipping their toe into actual live sports. So we'll see how this goes. You guys have nothing to say? Nothing to add? Nothing.
No,
I mean,
I'm interested. I mean, I'm always interested in the inner workings of how somebody, who deals with a lot of shit. Like I'm curious. Do they look at the shit I'm looking at when they watching First Take and somebody talking about them? So like, do they like have like human responses? I mean, I'm sure they do, but I'm just saying you never see that side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always, and I'm a sports nut, so it's always interesting to me to see the inside of how they go about their business.
100%. Number two on
yeah,
the
for
not
me, I
list.
just,
Oh,
I
go
don't
ahead, go ahead,
watch
go
all
ahead.
that.
Go ahead,
I
go
don't
ahead.
watch all that stuff, but it's cool. I think in the immortal words of the legendary clips, when it comes to LeBron, I don't want that. I want, the last dance with LeBron.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's another thing
you
too.
know,
So is he gonna just
it's
get
actually
take?
surprising that LeBron. I wonder if LeBron has like some sort of like production or anything that like some stakes in that where he gets some money out of that. Because it's actually surprising that LeBron is willing to do this. Like he'll do, being the face of the NBA, he'll do this stuff, but he usually got a little dip in there where he
Yeah,
dip
because he
his own
already has a
company in there.
crew. According to Brian Windhorst, he's had a crew following him already since he's
Yeah,
gotten to LA.
yeah,
So
he's
he's
been
I,
already
doing that.
I,
So
I heard Spielberg maybe directing it.
okay.
hey, that's also a
Does
possibility
he just
too.
pass over the tape, or this is a whole new film crew? So this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
that's interesting.
Number two on the not list. This one is a carryover. This is the cause and effect of the Cat Williams interview from last week. So this is one of the causes and effects of said interview. So Kevin Hart's baby mom, Tori Hart, says she's joining Cat Williams on his upcoming The Dark Matter tour. So there was a lot talked about this online. I would like to hear you guys' take because I stand with her. I don't think she's doing anything wrong, but I want to hear you guys' take. We haven't talked about this.
Go ahead, Rell.
I mean, I have no issue with it. Get your bag. I mean, like they're divorced. Whatever she, what is she? She a comedian?
She is a comedian. Well,
I
time to be
mean,
real. I didn't know.
live your life. I
I
mean,
didn't
I'm not,
know.
I'm not sure. And I'm pretty sure, like, and if cat, and I don't know what terms are they on, or if it's out of spitefulness, out of pettiness, but if it's out of just you trying to do something to fulfill
Mhm.
a dream before you fucking die, go ahead.
I will say this before you go, Jesse.
Mm,
I'm not saying what Kat said was right. I'm not saying we said was right about Kevin Hart being a plant.
mm.
But in the world where Kevin Hart is a plant, it would make sense that his first wife would be a comedian. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. It just in the world that he created that we think about now, it does make sense that his first wife would be a
I
joke
would love
writer
to
and a
you for you
comedian.
to elaborate on why that makes sense, but I don't know. It feels
I
like
don't
it's
even.
social media
Yeah, I don't.
logic.
Yeah. I don't even think I want to know that
Oh,
logic
okay.
because if
But
she was that funny, she'd be out here telling the jokes.
No,
exactly, she be out
she's
there.
apparently
She does do
she
skits.
was never like a comedian. She just wrote
Yeah.
jokes.
Okay, she does do skits.
She writes.
But
She can
okay,
write.
I
She
get what you,
writes.
I get what you said. But I don't. But for me, that's nice or whatever. Let me tell y'all a little story. I don't really give a fuck about that. Whatever. Um, um, my boy Steph, who work at the museum with me, his cousin is Cat Williams,
Heard.
like
Okay.
first cousin. I don't know first cousin, but like cousin. Like you can call Cat Williams' dad.
Okay.
Like he that close. Uh, he came out here and he was living. You know, he's like a little older than me, and he came out here and he's living with Cat Williams' brother. All the stories that he said about his family, true story.
Right.
True stories. He said, he was like, yeah, I wanted, he said that Shannon Sharp tried to allude that, his father was abusive, but Cat Williams was like, I didn't say that. You said that. He said my father's a great man.
Mm-hmm.
He said that his uncle is a great man. He never abused his kids, none of that. Um, he said Cat tried to fight him and lost. Got his ass whooped. And from there it was all right, moving on from there. When he moved first out here, he was living with Cat's brother. He said Cat's brother is just as wild as Cat. That he was like, yeah, we grew up Jehovah's Witnesses, and yeah, I'm gonna try to get him on the pod. He really cool dude. He really dope. But he said that they did grow up with Jehovah's Witnesses as Jehovah's Witnesses. They did go to like he was like, yeah, they would go to like he was like, my family wasn't like as deep as them, but they would go to like other countries like Hades and all that. He's like they could speak like three languages. So what Kat was saying about that stuff is true.
I believe it.
Um, he did say it ain't no damn 3,000 books.
I mean, come on, man. You know what time it is.
But he's like, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was like 300 books.
And then
Because,
he said at 9 years old too, or like 13 years old. He
no,
said
he
he
was saying, no. He said from 8 to 13. He did say, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 300 books
okay,
because
okay.
his uncle had them reading a lot. Like, they were deep, deep Jehovah's Witnesses. And when he says nothing but nonfiction, he was like, yeah, my uncle had them reading a lot. So
Believe it.
um, for what people, if people want to believe me or not, this ain't, I ain't trying to go viral with none of that shit. I'm just saying from the word of his cousin, as you see stuff, you can see like there are similar. I ain't gonna say like I hate when people be like, "Oh, as cousins, y'all look alike or y'all look similar," but it's like you see Steph, and it ain't far from the tree. I'll show y'all his Instagram and stuff. It's clearly like in the lineage. My boy Aaron, he's a comedian. He says some things about Steph. I mean not Steph, but Cat. So I'm hearing a few things, and at the end of the day, we ain't gonna really get a chance to talk about it. But the one thing we I hope we alluded to when we were talking about it last week, even though we said some things, we ain't saying that everything he said was true. But I hope y'all took it as entertainment and have fun. a lot of people took what he said as truth and started quoting him on shit that didn't connect. But just it's entertainment, y'all. He was doing what he knew how to do.
It's only
And
entertainment.
exactly. And y'all should have fun with it. So other than that, it's cool. You know, Cat taking Kevin Hart's wife or ex-wife on his show. He does say that he has a lot of women on his tour, but obviously this is to further draw attention to what he's doing, which is it's brilliant. It's very brilliant.
Absolutely. uh, Number 3 on the not list. I don't know if you guys saw this one. Michael Jackson's biopic releases on April 18th, and he will be played by his nephew, Jaafar Jackson.
Yeah, that's Tito's son. Whose son is that?
Really? It's Tito's son.
I don't know whose son it is, but it's I forgot whose son it is, but I remember seeing that last year.
What about the Bob Marley biopic?
That's coming out. That, right? That's coming out. No, we never talked about it, but it's coming out it's coming out next. It's coming out next week or a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, that one soon.
I'm not here to knock another actor, but I would just say he looks a little too clean to play Bob Marley.
There you go. Number 4 on the not list. Draymond Green came back with his podcast this week, and he said a lot of stuff, but a lot of it was him, Adam Silver, Adam Silver talking to him out of retiring. Him saying he feel like he's a changed man. He's been reinstated to. I think yesterday he attended his first Warriors game where the Warriors got housed. Who they lose to yesterday, Rell? Forgot off the top of my head. Badly.
For the Warriors? The Pelicans.
Pelicans, that's who it was. I was gonna say the Raptors, but the Raptors was the game before that, I believe. And they got housed by them too. But yeah, Draymond Green. Oh, this is a cough syrup. Sorry. For the little things so you won't my bad. I'll spit it out a little bit. All right. Number 5 on that list. We're gonna keep it with the Warriors. But this one's about his wife, who I'm not supposedly. I don't really like her, but this last week she did something real foul. So she went on The View, and I don't know if you guys have saw this. I don't know if I explained this to Rell a little bit. Jesse, I don't think this wouldn't touch Jesse. I don't think this will touch Jesse's radar. So this is probably gonna be new news to him.
It sure didn't.
View, huh?
I said it sure didn't.
Yeah, this probably.
Whose wife? Wait, whose wife?
Stephen Curry's wife, Ayesha Curry.
Okay, all right.
She went on The View, and they were gossiping and doing stuff. And she was jokingly saying when she sends her husband nudes, she sends him feet pictures, right?
She said that a long time ago.
No, this was recent. This was literally last week. So the internet did what the internet does. They found old tweet from Rell. What's her name? I forget her name too.
Mia Khalifa.
Huh? What's her name?
Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa. For those who are not familiar with Mia Khalifa, she used to. I don't think she is. She used to be a very, very popular porn star. I think she's probably still like in the top 10 on Pornhub for some reason. They found a tweet from her in 2017 where she added Stephen Curry's name, sending him feet pictures.
Oh, I'm not doing this.
And the internet went kind of crazy for a little bit because they thought Steph was outside for a little bit. Maybe he was. We don't know. I just want to throw it out there.
I'm trying to tell you, there was something about this, like about him being into feet. Like I swear it was like last year. Well, yeah, all right, look, I'll go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish.
No, that's pretty much it.
If the man
And
is into feet,
he
let
was
the man be
getting
into feet. That's
no,
it.
no, no.
Let's move on.
I don't kink shame. That's as
Yeah,
long as it's not hurting people.
yeah,
That's fine. I don't
yeah.
care.
It's like that's all I
But
got to say.
it's oddly it is a little strange that specifically she would send him at Stephen Curry picture of just her feet in 2017. That's
Can I
very
can I say something?
please.
She was known to be a troll at that time when she
I
was
know.
doing the show
Hmm.
with
She
Gilbert
was known to
Arenas.
be a
She was
lot of other
known
things too at the time too.
well, not in 2017. She was doing that. She was already retired by then. It was like she was doing that. She was known to be a troll, like fuck around with people, and she had that, that podcast, or I don't know what it was,
That's
with
some personal
Gilbert Arenas.
information though, Jesse. For the how you just know that.
Shut the fuck
how you
up.
just know that's a
Uh,
specific
I'll,
thing to
I'll
send
shut
out
the
into
fuck
the
up.
world in the tweeting at that
But
person.
it don't mean that he went out on the side.
I'm
Like,
look.
okay,
I don't want to put them.
I'll say this from what
Steph
I
got enough
heard.
problems right now. Him,
I,
he got
I,
enough problems.
from what I heard, out of all them dudes, he one of the few that's like,
Solid.
nah, I don't do all that. Yeah,
I'm with you.
he one of them dudes that
I will tell you
from when
this.
you hear with the
Definitely.
rumors, he ain't one of them dudes. To the point that people believe that his wife was doing something on the side. I ain't saying that's true.
Right.
All that shit. I'm just saying to the point that the people made
Yeah,
it
what if they
seem
was
like
doing?
that
I'm
was
not even
happening.
saying he was cheating. What if they was doing it together? Maybe they're open a relationship. I don't know. I'm just saying that I just think that
True.
was at least that's just an odd thing to just be out of the
You're
blue to
right.
be nothing. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. You're right. Now I'll shut the fuck up.
All right, so that's
That-
it for the not list. Now, like I told you guys, we have like several topics
Oh
for.
wait! Before we move on, I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but I would like to give a
Oh,
movie review.
please.
My goal this year is try to watch a movie every week, and hopefully I will try to do that. So this week I watched The Color Purple. Um,
Oh, the musical. How was it?
yeah, I know why you said it like that. Um, I am
There's nothing wrong with my
notoriously
tone. I
known.
just said the musical.
No, notoriously known for not being the biggest fan of musicals.
Yeah, you walked out of Footloose. I'm just playing.
I probably would have. As soon as they get loose, I would have been like, all right, I'm done,
You
y'all.
could walked out on
I
Kevin Bacon. Crazy.
um no I very much enjoyed the movie. Very much enjoyed the movie. Danielle Brooks, Fantasia, Taraji, um, everybody definitely deserve like all the accolades that they're getting. Is definitely very well done. I think given the tone, it's a little bit too theatrical given the tone. If you watch it, there's gonna be some like you see moments, the dancing, the performing that they do that you'd be like, given the tone, that's a little too energetic, too little bright, right, but beyond that, that's
As long as you wasn't like Boosie and walked out.
oh, did he walk out?
Yes.
Mm, okay. That's weird. Fantasia did an amazing job. She was amazing. I don't know, like I know they said they auditioned a lot of actresses. I don't know who it would have been. It seems like it's a tailor-made role for Fantasia. Um, and the only like truly like when you look back on it, and I haven't seen The Color Purple in a very long time. In fact, I haven't seen it as an adult, and because I don't want to put myself through something like that as an adult.
Dead ass.
Uh,
There's some movies I don't
so
want to watch with adult brain. I'm cool.
yeah, exactly. Because I shouldn't have been watching it as a kid. It's like that's it. I will also admit I have never seen The Color Purple like in its entirety in one sitting. Like I've kind of it used to come on I don't know if y'all remember this. It used to come on TV all the time.
It did.
and it'd be like I'm catching
We
the
all got
middle,
movies
catch
like
the
that.
beginning.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it used to that for a movie like that. That was one of those that used to come on all the time. But it was excellently done. But like it moved a little fast, and it probably cut some parts um for obviously to be replaced with the musical numbers. But I genuinely enjoyed the movie, and I did tear up at the end. I did cry a little bit at the end. I don't know if it was more personal issues that was going on, but I definitely enjoyed myself. I definitely enjoyed Fantasia's work. I definitely enjoyed Taraji P Henson's work, and I definitely enjoyed Danielle Brooks. Look, there's a scene. She's amazing in there, but there's a scene in there. There's a few scenes that, if you know her character and what she go through. For those that do know, um, you know, with everything that great she does, that those scenes stand out so well. She was amazing because it's such a contrast of her character, and it was so vulnerable, it was so deepening. One, I will also say this one thing about the movie moving fast and skipping scenes or skipping like parts where you would wish more a little depth in there. It plays with the idea. I think it goes with the idea that people have seen The Color Purple, and that's kind of where they cut scenes or cut that going more in depth. I believe hurt the movie because with the assumption that people have seen the original or know the book and or even seen the stage play. It did make me be like, oh, I gotta watch it on stage. So I do think, but I do overall, if I had to put a number on it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Probably like a 7.8 out of 10 is really well done, and
Is your
it was
Jesse
very much
score? Is your
enjoyable.
Jesse score?
You know I'm tough. You know I'm tough, and so I very much enjoyed it. So hopefully, like Rell gives his picks, I will hopefully be able to give a movie for the week, or at least every other week when when I get to see a
When you
movie.
get a chance to watch a movie. I likes it. I
Mhm.
likes it. All right. So I'm gonna give this to you guys. Which one of these heavy hitter stories y'all want to talk about? I mean, again, we could talk about the three legendary coaches that decided to step away, with Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, or Bill Belichick. We can group those together, or we can talk about Stephen A. Smith going scorch earth against Jason Whitlock, or we can talk about Jonathan Majors' Good Morning America interview. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Let's talk about that.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, Ray. I'll let you do it,
Rell, you've been
brother. Go
quiet, so
ahead,
go ahead. I'm gonna let you
go
lead
ahead.
into it. You want me to set you up, or you got it?
No, go ahead. Say yeah, you do all the good parts.
Set it up, set it up. Yeah.
So literally last episode, for those who don't know, we literally asked it was on the not list because we were, and I just asked a question to these guys. I was like, what's the purpose of this interview? And these guys both
we
didn't know. We
still
all didn't know the reason of the
we
purpose of
still
this interview.
asking that question, Kim.
I know. So Jonathan Majors did an interview on Good Morning America. I forget the young lady's name who he did the interview with. She did a great job. Um, but he did an interview, basically humanizing himself after the verdict. Learned a lot about. I learned a lot more about the proceedings that I didn't know from, because again, I wasn't watching this trial closely. I was just half watching, half paying attention via social media. But learned a lot more details about it, and I also learned that this nigga Jonathan Majors does not know how to turn off his Kang voice when he's doing interviews.
No, that big nose nigga just can't talk good.
The nigga does not know how to
Don't do
not be
that.
Kang
Don't do it.
in his interview. Rell, go ahead and load up, man. So, what'd you think
No,
of this?
I'm not good. I mean, some of the stuff I got is inappropriate. But I would just say that I would say this, first
I mean,
off,
there was a
that
big
big.
I'm
highlight of
tipsy.
whatever.
I would just like to put an
So
emphasis and just
Black
bring
social media was
awareness.
mad about one particular clip that was floating around that of a certain woman that he continuously used. He continuously uses this as this woman's name to describe his partners. He's done it multiple times now. But keep going.
Yeah, yeah. Here's my thing. Okay, you're going to jail, and
Whoa, he's
Whoa,
not
whoa, whoa,
going
we
to
don't know that. We
jail.
don't know that. Don't do
He's
that. We don't
not
know that.
going to
We don't know that.
jail.
nah, that nigga's guilty. Nah,
No,
because
well,
no, he did it. He did it because let me tell you why.
no, come on.
Let me tell you
He's
why.
Come
guilty
on,
of
bro.
what he's guilty of is a misdemeanor. He's
Yeah,
not
thank you.
going to
Yeah,
jail.
yeah. Whatever he guilty of, make sure he do to the extent of whatever they're gonna have him do, whether it be time, community service, talking to the children. He needs to whatever you're gonna do, he needs to do it. All I'm gonna say is shout out to all the big nose niggas that can't talk good.
What? He can't talk.
God.
Because the nigga can't talk too good. Second off,
He
I just
was fine with
He was
talking.
talking
yeah,
fine.
he just seemed weird to me, and his
He
nose
just
too big for
he
his
chose
fucking face.
no. Like the purpose of that to me. I'm sorry to take this from you. The purpose of the whole thing is like to take some accountability, which he kind of did, but kind of didn't at the same time. It was one of those things where it was like,
Or how about you
Here's
just
my
shut the
thing.
fuck up?
if you're
Here's my
going to
thing.
if you're
When
going
I
to
was
sit down
6,
and do this interview, this type of interview right after the verdict, you're gonna think you're gonna be remorseful, and again, you felt like you was wrong. I mean, I feel now after watching it, I feel like you was wrong too. But you did one stupid thing that probably got you. If you would avoided, if he would have avoided picking her up and shoving her back in the truck, I think he would have been fine.
I'm not even going like downplay that part, but I'm gonna say, well, when I was 6, my mom one time I got caught for doing something I shouldn't have been doing, and first thing my mama told me is, "You shouldn't have had your ass over there." And so, so,
Mm-hmm.
so before this all,
Mm-hmm.
because now the nigga want to snuggle up with Megan Good, but when you was Kang the Conqueror,
That's
you
a
you wanted a
beautiful
white woman. Fuck you, Jonathan
before
Majors.
Kang, before Kang,
You and your
before
big
Kang,
nose. You shouldn't have been
before
Kang the
Why you
Kang.
keep
Conqueror.
going after his nose?
You and Kang
Yeah.
should have never been Kang the Conqueror in the first fucking place. I liked you in the beginning, but I was always kind of like, I'm sick of this nigga playing this jigaboo role where he just, he always the shy.
Oh,
He always
come
the
on.
shy.
See, now you
I'm
just
twisting my hat in my hand. No,
Jesse, get the man.
he
Get the
always
man.
plays the nigga in the role where he's the shy. I'm yes, ma'am, twisting my hat in my hand, kind of nigga to
come
like
on,
I'm
man.
just
Come
sick of
on.
it. I'm sick of
Come
that
on,
fucking
man.
role. He
Now you
does
gotta
it all
make
the
me come
time.
on here and try to
He
defend this
does it all the
man.
fucking time. And so, and then like the whole thing is with you, Jonathan Majors, you shouldn't have had your ass over there. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
I
You
agree.
should whatever.
But some
So
people on
whatever
this
happened,
pod,
happened, bro. So it's on you. It's out our hands. It's in God's hands now. So
Jesse, please go.
sorry, I was ordering Thai food. I'm not gonna say much. Like I said it last year. And I'll I'll say it now. I'm in the business of talking down on black or especially black actors or anything. But yeah, this one I don't even want to bring this up. Like the daughter of Coretta Scott King and Martin Luther King said, Coretta Scott King is not a mascot or a prop, not a mascot, but a prop.
but he keeps using her as one.
No,
Once
you're
to
right.
describe a white
You're
woman,
right.
and
You're
then never
right.
describe it.
This is the problem I have. Why do you keep comparing any woman you date to somebody you never even met?
I mean,
I
no, the problem is
it's not
about
Who
comparing
does
them
that?
it's not about comparing them to somebody he's never met.
Yeah.
It's about comparing yourself, putting yourself on that level.
Yeah.
Like, chill. you're an actor. This is the shit I be telling people.
And the
Like,
level of
man,
holding down Coretta did is like
Every time he brings her up, I'm just wondering who's Martin.
it's like
that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's the
you,
level
what are
of
you
Pam
doing?
holding down. It's the level of Yvette and Baby Boy holding down. It's like that level of holding down.
Bruh, it's beyond that. She, like, do you understand? She made the ultimate, like, sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, the ultimate, like, there's no comparison to this shit. Like, there's just no.
What sacrifice
He could have
is
just
your
left it
woman
at
gonna
she's
make
holding me
today?
down.
Yeah, like,
He could have just left it at she's been holding me down.
like, who else, like, who else made it? And then
Or
not
you
only,
just could shut the fuck up and not
not
say the shit.
only did she make the ultimate sacrifice, she was an activist in herself. Like, so she ain't just sitting around. She was an activist in herself. You look at the shit she's done. Do not what like, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not a dude that's be like, man, you need to be more like I will never tell a woman that, like white, black, or whatever. But I would never tell a woman like, oh, you need to be more like these prestigious people we held in high regard. But it's like if you said Michelle Obama, like we know the sacrifices Michelle Obama made for Barack to become president and do it for 8 years. But she even doing her thing too. And it's just like one of those things where it's just like you really undermine and diminish what this woman, these women, these black women have done. And even if it's like they're not even like on the same level of comparison either, but it's like to sit there and be like, hold yourself with prestige. Like, first and foremost, she's white. You couldn't say like Jennifer Aniston, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't say like Barbara Bush.
Jessica
You couldn't
Biel.
say like,
just name all the Jessicas.
You know what I'm saying? Like Chelsea Clinton. You know what I'm saying? You got, what's her mama name? What's her mama name? Huh?
Hillary?
Hillary Clinton. You couldn't say, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of white women you could have chose. Shit, you could have said J-Lo, and we'd have been like, well, I guess.
Angelina Jolie, they were saying
Angelina Jolie. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, but the reason why you chose them is because you actually believe that you are on the level of Martin Luther King. And who made you believe that shit? Where did you get this idea?
He thought Creed 2 made activist movements,
Creed 3. Like, dog, like, look, you made, like, look, he is an amazing actor. And it sucks.
Rell, don't do that. Don't sick
your teeth.
He's
amazing.
Don't suck your teeth.
He's amazing. And I hate that people are trying to diminish, like, oh, you only did this and you only did that. Like, he been killing
suck
it.
Your teeth, nigga. Don't do that. He is
and you know what I mean? Like last year before. But the thing is, like, you took this idea of being this vulnerable black man and everything, and saying like, hey, you wouldn't, and being this person that he owned himself and he talked and he's very introspective, and he is. But it's like, you know what I mean? And then
he knew what Chris Broussard said.
He knew he had a certain fan base. You don't have to tell me what did Chris Broussard say?
No, because he can't say it. Because you can't say it. That's why.
I can't say the word, but you know what Chris Broussard said about James Harden. That's what I'm saying about.
Oh no!
Don't let him do that.
I don't know how Chris Broussard still has a job. I'm saying that. Well, I guess.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
Nah. We ain't saying that, but you know what I mean. Like you knew your fan base and you catered to them while you had, a Caucasian.
That looked like it hurt for Jesse to say.
I'm trying to be nice around here, man. Like, I'm trying to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, a Caucasian woman in your life, and that's who you're preferring to date. I don't care what anybody says. When you sit there, like, if I had kids today, if I had, like, all right, Kevin, you have a child as we speak.
Right.
She will, like, in 15 years,
Yeah.
while after Jonathan Majors has a long, good, and could have possibly been illustrious career.
When Disney finally let him be king again in 15 years.
And she gonna wonder, like, damn, why hasn't this man that is a really excellent actor not got the big roles? And you gonna tell her this nigga ran down the street from a white woman. And I mean, a
He make a good
Caucasian.
point though, but we already knew the point. If the roles were reversed, it would have been something completely different.
It don't
We all
matter.
know that. I know. I'm
It
with you.
don't matter.
I'm with you. I'm with you. But
That's
I'm
why
saying
I'm
you made
saying
a
it's
good
just
point.
like I don't get where this
The only thing
idea.
and I'm gonna just leave it at this, and then if you want to keep going, we can keep going. I don't understand how she's not going to jail as well after the
Ain't
stuff
nobody
that
going to jail.
she wasn't found guilty. She wasn't found guilty on anything,
Yeah.
which is not going
Okay.
to jail. That part was crazy to me as well, because it's like, yeah, Jonathan Major did some wrongdoing in this
But
situation,
is it
but
crazy?
obviously he was.
Is it crazy, Kev? Let me ask you a question. Is it
No,
crazy,
if
Kev?
we're bringing it, we're bringing in race. Obviously, race is
Oh,
yeah. So we got you.
look. I am not trying to be misogynistic or anything. Is it crazy?
She
It's
should have
a
been out.
white woman and a
out.
black man. The court is going to favor the white woman.
Not when there's
It ain't crazy at all.
I'm with you, but not when the evidence it was what it was. Again, and I didn't even pay attention. Again, I didn't pay attention until I saw this. Then I was
The
like,
district
damn, they had
kept
that. Damn, they
kept
had
the
that.
district attorney was so like he was so
They had evidence that they wasn't even looking over. I forgot what the name what's it called. I forgot what it's called.
the person that tried him was so confident that he would be found guilty of something that he gave him all these charges. It ain't surprising at all. This district attorney, like, I don't know nothing about him. People say he's a clout chaser and all that stuff. Clearly, he knew something where he would believe that, hey, he's gonna get found. We can waste all of this money, all of this, to give him a third-degree charge. And he knew that. He knew he wasn't gonna get him on domestic violence. He knew he wasn't gonna get him on the other stuff, but he knew he was gonna get him on something.
Yeah.
So why? Because it's a white woman and a black man.
Heard you. Got you.
And he is an actor that he is becoming a budding star. A budding star. Like, he was supposed to come out with a movie this year with not this, but last year, at the end of last year. That was supposed to be Oscar.
That's now dead, I think. The Rodman biopic that we talked about that was supposed to be happening. He was supposed to be
Rodman biopic, but not the Ryan.
I can see why now, because he weird.
Not the Rodman biopic, but everybody thought he was getting buff for Creed. Obviously he was getting buff for Creed, but he was getting buff for another movie that was supposed to be this biopic based on a man that was a Olympic weightlifter, I believe. And so it's just one of those things where it was going, that's probably going to slide into one of these streaming services that we don't know nothing about, and it just slide there.
We'll see on Tubi.
Shit, baby.
It'd be right under the
I'm not trying to talk down on this man. Like, date who you want to date, but it's like, what gave you this inflated ego that you were doing amazing things, and then all you had to say was, besides shutting the fuck up, just shut the fuck up. Like, nigga, there is nothing you can say to make this better. But if you could try to make it better, all you had to say is, like, I was caught up in the moment and I misspoke. I am nowhere to the level of these people. Of these iconic people. I was trying to make a comparison to Sacrifice. And the sacrifices needed to have an excellent career and standing by my side. That was it. I should have never used that. That was a mistake by me. Nope. This nigga doubled down. This nigga said, let me explain why I used that and why it made sense. Like, nigga, it ain't gonna make sense. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody that tries to make sense of what he's saying is stupid. It is just stupid. Like, you're just stupid. Like, what Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King had to go through. Like beyond that, like Malcolm X, what he had to go through, and what his wife had to like suffer for him, and ultimately it happened. It's like that worry, that everything. You will never, even if she was black, y'all would never face that. And to use that as the example of sacrifice, because you believe you're doing this great thing, it's just like, bro, who inflated your ego to believe that? That's my thing. But the thing about all of this shit is we inflate all these motherfuckers' ego. And I say that as a person who is trying to crack into this business. We inflate the idea of what they're doing, and it gets even more inflated because of social media, because he was a vulnerable man taking photos with Michael B. Jordan, and it was hugging him and everything, and we were all like, oh, vulnerability as a black man, not being so macho tough.
That's taking it somewhere else, Jesse. That's taking it somewhere else.
I'm just saying, because he got this inflated ego. And it's just like, while he was living a lie, he knew his audience. But he never showed the white woman he was with. That's crazy.
All right, let's move on. We're cutting time.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
And we got to at least get to this. All right, so Scorcher, Stephen A. Smith did a couple teasers of his show, his podcast. And I mean, the entire time, I knew the whole industry did not mess with Jason Whitlock. For those who don't know Jason Whitlock, I don't know if he still is a columnist. I don't know
he
what
writes.
his title is today. He still writes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But who reads what he writes?
He former columnist for ESPN, Fox News, FS1, Fox. Now he works at the Blaze production pizza.
Fat nigga like the
podcast. I don't know what this is. Yeah, he's a former colleague of a lot of people at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith went on his podcast and basically told all the tea of the reason why he does not like him. He's never really liked him. The reason why he never would say his name, because obviously he doesn't. Stephen A. Smith never wanted to have black on. Even if he did not respect his work and liked him, he would never try to stop his hustle and stop him from making money.
Stephen A. Smith has always
said the same thing. Jemele Hill said literally the same thing. She was like, I immediately did not fuck with him, but I would not stop him from getting a bag. I'm gonna be real. I mean, I knew Whitlock basically off of his political. I mean, I saw him on ESPN and all the shows and stuff. And he was another Rob Parker to me, was just like a black guy, but he's really not here for us, right?
Which you disrespected Rob Parker when you say that.
Yeah, that nigga from Detroit.
I know, so I shouldn't. Okay, I see what you're saying. I shouldn't put them. You're right. I shouldn't group them together. But Rob Parker caters more to conservatives, though, right? Would you guys agree with that?
I don't know who the nigga voted for.
I don't even like going political, but I know.
I think we got an idea of what. I think we got the idea.
is
I'll say I think we got an idea of who Rob Parker caters to, but I don't think that was the truth about him. I think a
okay.
lot of people, since he didn't, cake for black people as black people
Yes,
would
there. Okay,
like, black athletes or as black, black people would like. It was a belief he was a certain way, but I think as you learn about him, he is
okay.
not.
I won't use him as Bell's probably a bad example. I won't use him. But I
Yeah,
know I will say Sage Steele because Sage Steele we know who she caters to.
perfect, perfect example.
We know who she caters to. She's black, but she's for white conservatives. And Whitlock falls under the same that, but he's probably a little more extreme. But basically, Stephen A. Smith, Jason Whitlock's been calling Stephen A. Smith what basically the same thing Cat Williams was calling Kevin Hart, which is a plant. He said he does not know how to write. He read his book and took shots at it. He took Stephen A. Smith's personal memoir where he talks about his mom, his father, his personal upbringing, how he got into the industry, and said he did not write it on his own. He's taking personal shots at Jamel Hill. He's taking personal shots at Michael Smith. He's taking personal shots at Bomani Jones. Um, I want to say Michael Wilbon as well too. Um, uh, Now I feel like he does that. Does he does that just for clicks on his whatever
I
that
mean,
he's? Go ahead.
I feel like Stephen A. shouldn't have never rebuttal because that's the only reason why I took my ass over there. You
Yeah,
know,
and you heard his response. So what did he say back?
he basically doubled down on everything he said in the first episode. He just basically he brought up the first off the nigga talk. He brought up the Sabruder film, which
Mm-hmm.
is the JFK documentary, and
Mm-hmm.
about how these plants come in. And he debunked. The nigga goes on the second episode. I think is more interesting because he goes on this whole diatribe, literally debunking everything that Stephen A. said about his life, like about for him playing basketball
That's
and him
crazy.
just being a sellout. I don't know, bro. Like it's some interesting shit in there. I don't know
Yeah, so that was
what is
crazy. How
what.
does he think so? What does he stand on with Stephen A. Smith not playing basketball in high school? What does that mean? He doesn't think Stephen A.
Was
Smith
the
played
rumor was
basketball,
that Stephen A. Smith say he played one game and cracked his knee or whatever.
and he played 20.
Uh,
He said he scored 27 points. He said he's cracked his knee in college, not high school, right?
yeah, and then he put that in the book, and Whitlock basically debunks it. And
How
and
though? What like what
Yeah.
you gotta
when you say
listen, listen.
debunks it?
Listen. I can't paint verbatim what he said. You just have to watch it because it's just too much shit. Like he goes literally. There's a lot of shit like where he finds a Steve Smith in the '91 that played at Wake. Not Wake Forest, but Winston Salem.
Yeah.
He finds a Stephen Smith, but it's not Stephen A. Smith. He actually finds that Stephen Smith, and and like in the book, like he said that he had a 1 day tryout and got a scholarship, and I don't know, like it's a lot of shit that's in there. Like he go like it's almost on some like I said, I know that when you scale down the slimy worm of YouTube like depictions, you can find people can make you believe
Yeah.
whatever they want you to believe based off what the information they like.
Yeah.
So if I see a documentary and somebody wants to prove an agenda that the vax doesn't work, by the end of that fucking documentary, I might believe
If
it.
you
Like,
want to
for them.
believe that there's still dinosaurs on Earth, you can go down on YouTube and find that.
Exactly. That's my point. So you get my point. So that's basically what he did this whole thing where he brought up pictures. He brought up, I don't know where he's getting these articles from, and he debunks a lot of shit in Stephen A's book. And so, and I don't know, like I said, it's to the point now to where even the shit that he was bringing up, where I have to question, like, he kind of told might be telling the truth or some shit. I don't know if it's true. Or I don't know. But like I said, I don't. I mean, like I said, it's an hour 30 minutes. I don't know if Jason Whitlock's a piece of shit. He's Uncle Ruckus. He can go to hell. He can die tomorrow. All I'm saying is that whatever he with that 2 episode thing, I watched both of those episodes, and it was a lot of shit where I had a lot of questions. And
Y'all know I 100% believe in the when there's smoke, there's fire. Like even if you don't, so put the Stephen A. Smith stuff aside, right? Jamel Hill is somebody that I believe when she talks about anything that happens in media, because for me, she has no reason to lie.
I
She
believe nobody likes him. He admits that. He
yes,
admits like I'm not, and I'm
but the
like,
reason
fuck, I'm
why
defending
though,
Jason Whitlock.
the reasons why though are interesting, or like if no other of your black colleagues fuck with you at a place where you would think you would want that kind of camaraderie and that kind of brother slash sisterhood in a place like ESPN Bristol, Connecticut, where again, Jamel talked to this all the time that like her and Michael, like she would wait for Michael in the cafeteria because a lot of the people she didn't really fuck with, including
I
Sage
mean, I
Steele.
just feel like they had regular work people issues, and like I feel like as black people, the higher we get, sometimes we don't. Like prime example, there's a dude. This is funny we mentioned it. There's a dude right now in my office that I work with, and he comes like dressed to a fucking T to work every day. Like me, I throw like a Ferg polo on, some jeans and some J's. This nigga's wearing a suit and
Raiders fan?
I don't know. His name is I don't know, Richard
Oh
some
yeah, keep
shit.
going. Yeah, keep
Yeah. Um so he comes in a suit every day to work, but we don't talk. And I don't think he fuck with me because of how I dress. Like, and I'm like, I don't really give a shit. Do your job, and you ain't gotta talk to me. It's hard being a black person in the workplace. Like, he looks at me like like I'm a slacker. I don't know. Sometimes he don't talk to me. I've tried to talk to this man several times. He dresses in the fuck suit and comes to work. Like, and we do the exact same fucking job. So, and he don't have any interaction, any face-to-face interaction with customers because I don't either. So we're literally at a desk every day, and so it's tough being a black person in the workplace. So I mean, I'm not defending Whitlock. Back to Whitlock, I'm not defending anything he said. All I'm saying is that the points he made, I don't know if it's because it was a skewed view or whatever it is, but it was just interesting. I would say that, like, I would say that if you have any, you should, if anybody should take a look. I think sometimes people should maybe take a look at what the other person is saying.
Jesse, you have anything to add? I listened to the whole Dan Levitar show, and it was crazy because Dan uh, didn't want to go the Stephen A. Smith route and just talk bad about Whitlock because he said he considered Whitlock a friend.
The whole thing is
Crazy enough,
Whitlock
him
didn't shit on. He didn't shit on Jamel Hill. He didn't shit on. He broke down the book.
he said
He reviewed his book
Jamel
chapter
said
by
Can I ask a
chapter.
question for you, Rell? Like,
Yeah.
what benefit would it be to like take down like
another black person's book, their biography.
No, okay. If we're getting to that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't have a reason why he gets off of like even I'm sorry, the George Floyd thing. He talks shit about George Floyd.
Yeah, we know.
And always about him being on fentanyl as if that's the reason, like, as if that's the reason why a nigga's supposed to die. Like if anything, the nigga's just junkie. You don't take a nigga life or because of it.
That's probably like the 10th egregious thing on his list that he's done.
No, that's the thing is like he's inhumanely a piece of shit because he also brings up a story where he says he was with somebody who called him N-word with his buddy, and his buddy had a Uzi on him, and then he ran home. And I was like, hold up, your fat ass ain't never ran nowhere in your fucking life. That's why you 300 pounds. Right. So that's how I know this a lie. Second off, so somebody called you a nigga to your face, and you don't believe, like, you believe that racism is a like, I don't know, like he went on this whole wrap around because he brought up the fact that ESPN always had plants crying on there when they were talking about the George Floyd situation, like Kirk Herbstreit and Randy Moss, and then he, like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if this shit was dialed up from the people who can dial up to make shit look a certain way, or if it was 1,000% legit. But all I know, I mean, I'm not fuck Jason Whitlock either way. I mean, and either way, it's hard for us to get this far. I look at us now like barbershop debate. Stephen A. Smith is the one to make it. There's another nigga before Stephen A. Smith that had just as much talent, that probably was just as much. And I'm not, and people get mad about the plant. Oh, he's a plant this, he's a plant that. But it's like, no, sometimes like you should know that the whites held us back maybe on certain shit where we weren't like, like we maybe you don't think Stuart Scott could have had a podcast
and then
that,
Whitlock talked shit about Stuart Scott as well.
Yeah, that's where he lost me. Where it was
Look, the reason why I asked this question, Rell, like, look who he caters to. Like the idea,
the white left
is no, it's not. You see, this ain't about politically. He caters to people that want to break down, that have a conspiracy, that believe this idea. I don't think this is a right-left thing. This is a conspiracy thing, an idea that everything is controlled, that somebody is creating this. The man's story is the man's story.
Right.
So now you're breaking it down and trying to say he didn't go to play basketball, as if that, like, what he didn't, like, what is it that you're exactly like trying to destroy?
What is that going to prove? Like at the end of the day, it was never. I see a point.
Ain't nobody believing Stephen A. Smith is this great.
Yeah,
like Stephen
we're
A.
not.
Look
we're
at the
not
comments.
Following Stephen A. Smith's knowledge based off his college game anymore. Like he's already proven himself.
All his life. Like, we're not doing it off of his personal life.
Yeah.
This isn't like we follow Stephen A. Smith because he has the underdog story that we believe in, that we think that is gonna. No. If you look at even the comments of Stephen A. Smith saying what he said, and obviously they promoted it in a way, and Stephen A. Smith used it to promote, or not even the word promote, but to use.
But I think once you set fire, once you play with matches in the forest, nigga, everybody get burned because you put me over there. It's views on that shit now. It's conversation.
It's smart because Stephen A. Smith's contract is up in 18 months, and it's stick up time. That's another thing that has been talked about.
But let's remove all of that, because a lot of people are like, oh, he saw the Cat Williams interview and he's trying to do this and trying to do it. I would argue I don't think a lot of people know. I don't think a lot. Yeah, that's the problem I have with people like Stephen. This is Stephen A. Smith. A lot of people. I'm like, how many people actually know who Jason Whitlock is? Yeah. So Stephen A. Smith is actually doing Jason Whitlock a fucking favor. And
that's what Dan Le Batard said. He was like,
so
you gave him life again.
And that's the thing of not saying his name. And Dan Le Batard has knows. This ain't no like
he's not to cut you off, Jesse, but I'm gonna get this off real quick. So the reason why Jason Whitlock was led the undisputed. So I didn't know this. So Jason Whitlock went to lead the Undefeated. For those who don't know, the Undefeated was going to be a section of ESPN just for Black writers, Black creators, Black editors. It was going to be sports and entertainment and movies covered by Black columnists through ESPN. And the reason why he got
there's a platform for Black columnists.
Right. And the reason why he got that job, because he got Dan Le Batard and Bill Simmons called Skipper and said he should get the job, which is crazy to me. It had to be
not
a white guy and a Cuban guy. It had to be a white guy and a Cuban guy to give the guy to lead a Black comment.
Not just a Cuban guy who admits himself is white passing.
Yes.
So, continue.
Yeah. No, that was it. That was to me again, and this is just, it shows how the mothership over there works. It was like, why isn't this coming from somebody like?
Why would they be
Michael Wilbon?
Because all of them would have said no.
No, because they all said no. They didn't want to work for
Would
him.
have said no. Why would you not
Bomani
give
Jones
that to?
over there was at the time. Michael Smith was over there at the time.
Look at all the black columnists that came out of there, and he talks about all of them. He says shit about all of them. And that's my problem, where it's like, I don't know what's true or not, but I'll tell you right now, nothing about Stephen A. Smith's personal life is what drew people to Stephen A. Smith. He started to talk about his personal life more. He started to do that. He gave a memoir. But my thing is just like, we don't follow. As I said, when he put that out, read the comments. People are like, what's the difference between Stephen A. Smith and Jason Whitlock? Motherfuckers believe Stephen A. Smith is on the level of Jason Whitlock because of the way he criticizes athletes. But there's one thing that is just like, he said it himself. Stephen A. Smith doesn't go after his colleagues. You see Stephen A. Smith adamantly defend whether the person is right or wrong. Defend.
He stayed out of the Pat McAfee
writers. He'll in that same episode, he defends Pat McAfee. In that same episode where he's talking shit, he defends Pat McAfee.
Yep.
He defends writers. He is adamant about it. He is all of those things. And it's just interesting that it's like he picked a person who said he didn't have a great career. So now we're going to go into Stephen A's actual collegiate career, his actual high school basketball career, and
Jesse, when I say you don't know the in depth he went into both of those, he went like, it was almost to the point was like, you did this, you got a problem because you did shit that is in it. Like, it's crazy to want to dig into somebody's past like that. I mean, when I say he called former teammates.
And I don't think what he said. Well, obviously, talking about his personal life, yes, but it's also like people that he probably found people that are not fans of Stephen A. Stephen A. doesn't pride himself on being this collegiate athlete. He prides himself. He's always said he's always been a great shooter. That's what he got the stroke, but he actually prides himself. After he cracked his knee, he had the audacity to write about his college coach who had a legendary career.
And he went into that too. He went into that too and debunked it.
But what's there to debunk? That's my problem.
It's just
with
crazy.
All of this stuff. It's weird. It's not even crazy. It's fucking weird. It's weird because it's just like, what? Why are you? Is this what you wasting your time on? But you know why he went after Stephen A. Smith? Talk about he's a plant and all this shit. Whether he's a plant or not, this is the same thing with Kevin Hart. Whether he's a plant or not, they took what they were given and flourished in it. Stephen A. Smith is still one of the hardest working men when he shouldn't be. Right. Still one of the hardest working people. He does shit he shouldn't be doing. He's in MMA.
It's stick up time for Stephen A. Smith.
No, there ain't no numbers about this shit. There ain't no numbers. He does boxing. He does MMA. He does fucking.
That's what I'm saying.
He'll do hockey.
That's what I'm saying. My point is, and he knows it, and ESPN knows it, and in 18 months, it's stick up time if ESPN don't come with the bag.
And you can call me a plant all I want, but being a plant requires hard work. Same thing with Kevin Hart. Being a plant, I can be a plant, and you think I lay in bed being a fucking plant? Nigga, they call me, I gotta go show up. That is tiring in its goddamn self. So we can downgrade a person or downplay a person's career and all that shit, but what it requires, a lot of you motherfuckers that want to downplay or downgrade a nigga that's doing all that shit in the first place, you can call them all that. It takes effort. Yeah. Whether it's right or wrong, it takes effort to do all that shit. So we can sit there and say what we want about all of them, but it takes effort to do all that. To the point that motherfuckers don't even like Stephen A. like that. Like I said, you look at the comments, motherfuckers don't like Stephen A. like that. So it's one of those things where it's like, when you sitting there doing that, who are you really? You are baiting the man to say something. That's all you're doing. And you are going at his personal life. And he's writing personal things, and he wrote. But it's like of course Stephen A is going to respond to it. Yeah, everybody. It's easy to say, well, he should have never responded, or he should have left it alone. The nigga has.
For years.
He has, and we
years.
know we know he has, because we know Dan Le Batard has been said it, and little snippets or little jokes, and it's like, yo, there's one person he is willing to go face to face with so many people. He's willing to be controversial, be confrontational, be all of those things, except for one man.
Nobody sits next. He doesn't go sit. Nobody goes sit. None of his old colleagues go sit with him and go do interviews on his podcast. It's very telling.
And that says more about Jason Whitlock than it does about Stephen A. Smith.
It's telling.
It's very telling. So I don't care what he says, whether it's true, whether he can debunk it. Debunk what? At the end of the day, when I knew Stephen A. Smith, it was quite frankly, and guess what Stephen A. Smith got me saying? Quite frankly. It wasn't about his fucking personal life, because I watched Stephen A. Smith because of his writing career and his entertainment, listening to him on the radio, all that shit. Now has it gone to an extreme to the point that I'm like, obviously
it's a little, maybe it might be too much, you consume too much. Yeah, bet. But that's yeah.
But it's not one of these things where I'm like, yo, like, look, there's one thing I hate that people do, and it's obviously, y'all know how I feel about social media. It obviously has given people a platform to downgrade or denigrate a man or a woman or anybody, because it's easier to type something than actually do what they've done. However you feel about them, whether you agree with everything they do or disagree with what they do, it's easier to write that shit than to actually do that shit. And a lot of motherfuckers act like they wouldn't sell out for that shit. A lot of motherfuckers act like they was given the chance to be an industry plant.
Yeah. They
was given a chance to be that, and they chose not to. That's how they write shit. That's how they talk. When y'all motherfuckers wasn't given none of that, it takes hard work. And y'all ain't got all that. But whether he's a plant or not, it's one of those things where it just doesn't make sense. And I'm glad Stephen A. roasted this nigga, because he was doing you a favor by not saying something about your ass. Now, everybody's going to come out and say something like, this nigga ain't that, like, he ain't no good. He is not a good dude. And it says a lot about Dan Le Batard, where it's like, yo, man, he's a friend. When he said your closest colleagues, the people that you are sitting there talking about all the time, you talk about Stephen A. Smith. Bomani did your show when he shouldn't have done your show and stayed on that. All those people that you hold in high regard, you still holding on to this dude, and you refuse to say something bad about him because he showed you love and respect. That's the ultimate, hey, I'm a bad dude. That's the ultimate manipulation. That's the ultimate bullshit. That's the ultimate assholery that he does. And you over here like, well, he's my friend. No, fuck that shit. Because everybody else that is actually held in high prestige, and all those people that you could respect, there's a level of respect, man. I think we all have met somebody where it's like, yo, you there's a level of respect I can give you until you cross the line, and you crossing the line.
All right. Perfect. Well said, Jesse. We won't be able to get to the three coaches amigos. It's fine, but just know Pete
wild.
Too much shit. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. It helps the podcast grow. Sub up if you're new around here. I will say this. Don't ever disrespect Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll got a Super Bowl championship and an NCAA championship. Were those millennials?
Well, they stole one. They stole one of those.
Don't do that. Us. Were those millennials?
They stole one. And they all Hall of Famers. They all Hall of Famers.
They're all HOFs. Were those millennials, and we're out.